So let's say you visited a new place and you want to navigate your way through. What do? The first thing that comes to your mind is searching your location on Google Maps or other online maps. Well, lately these resources have become quite reliable and are accurate even for small neighborhoods and roads. But there are some places you won't be able to locate on the maps, and some places you won't be able to find much information about online. If you're thinking, why not just go and see what's there for yourself? That too is not permitted. The nature of the human mind is such that it is curious for things that seem particularly prohibited. However, in some cases, it's probably best to let some things be a mystery. Today's video is precisely about that. Here is a list of the 12 places in the world you are not allowed to visit. In fact, it's illegal to visit these places. Number 12. Pine Gap, Australia. The Down Under is full of mystery, from intimidating animals to weird happenings. There's so much in Australia that fuels curiosity. One of these is Pine Gap. This is a defense facility used as a satellite surveillance base and Australian Earth station. It is strongly believed that this base is gathering intelligence on the Russian-Ukrainian war. It is run jointly by Australian and US governments. It was established during the Cold War, and on the face of it, there seem to be activities related to space exploration being conducted here. However, allegedly, this secret military base is used for nuclear monitoring as well as detecting the missile launches. It is controlled by both NASA and the CIA. Unless you receive a special permit from the government, this area stays forbidden for you. Number 11. Surtsey, Iceland. Iceland, one of the most mystical and beautiful places on Earth, attracts tourists who want to experience its harsh climate and rugged terrain. There's something oddly beautiful about the unique natural wonders of this country. One of them is Surtsey. Surtsey is a UNESCO World Heritage Site that is off limits to tourists. This volcanic island in the Vestmannaeyjar archipelago formed and reached the surface in 1963. It was formed due to volcanic eruption. Once the eruptions came to an end, the scientists studied the topography and total area of the island so that they could measure the change in its shape over the coming years. Only researchers studying the biological life and geology of this island are allowed to stay here. This is to ensure the island stays pristine and away from human exploitation, so that the development of a natural ecosystem can be studied. Number 10. Niihau Island, USA. Niihau Island in Hawaii is a forbidden island where tourists are not allowed to visit. Now, Hawaii is a very popular and picturesque tourist location, and it might seem surprising that there are places in Hawaii that are off limits for tourists. However, there's a very strong reason for this. Niihau has been a private island for decades now, and it presently has a little over 160 inhabitants. Due to the lack of exposure to humans from other societies, people here have developed unique traditions and culture. There's not internet connectivity here either, with the intention to preserve the wildlife and nature here. However, if you desperately want to visit this island, you will have to book an expensive hunting safari. Even then, you won't be able to freely access all parts of the island. Number 9. Area 51, USA. If you are talking about forbidden places on Earth and Area 51 doesn't come up on your list, then your list is incomplete. This is probably one of the most popularized, mysterious forbidden places in the world that is in the forefront of conspiracies, from aliens to UFOs. There are so many myths about this place that it is difficult to believe whatever news you read or hear about Area 51. Essentially, it is a highly classified United States Air Force facility. that was originally built in 1955. It is true that this is a prohibited area, where some secret military activities go on that are only known to a few people. However, those activities have nothing to do with aliens. In fact, it is highly plausible that weapons and aircrafts are tested in this facility. For those who believe in the conspiracy theories, do you think this is just a facade? Or is there something really mystifying going on at Area 51? What is the most thrilling conspiracy that you've heard? Do mention it in the comments section below. Number 8. Lascaux Caves, France. Lascaux is a network of caves in France that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The cave walls are covered with over 600 displays of prehistoric art that have been estimated to have been painted over 20,000 years ago. However, since 1963, these caves have been a prohibited site for tourists. The reason for this is that the sweat of the tourists and the microbes that they brought in caused the paintings to decay. The carbon dioxide and humidity would have damaged the paintings, and hence, to preserve this archaeological wonder, it was decided to seal these caves off. If you are interested in history and wish to study these caves, there's a museum nearby that has replicas of the paintings. This is the nearest you can get to seeing what's inside the caves, unless you are a researcher at the caves. Number 7. Dulce Base, USA. Dulce Base takes the conspiracy theories and conjectures related to Area 51 one step further. It is believed by many that this place in New Mexico has an underground experimentation facility that is jointly operated by humans and aliens. Conspiracy theorists believe that experiments related to advanced technologies take place here, and that there are some human-animal hybrids as well as aliens in this facility. This place has strict security, so you can't just wander into the premises to confirm these theories. To some, this might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but there are others who firmly believe that something mysterious is going on here. Probably, you'll never find out. Number 6. Svalbard Global Seed Vault, Norway. Also known as the Doomsday Vault, Svalbard Global Seed Vault is something like a seed bank where over 100 million plant seeds are stored. The idea behind this is that if there is an apocalypse, the seeds from here can be reused to restore plant life on Earth. This will act as some sort of a Noah's Ark for plants. Due to extremely low temperatures, this place is ideal to store the seeds. It is quite obvious as to why this vault is off limits for the general population, as it would be difficult to maintain the sterile conditions and safety of the seeds if there were a lot of visitors here. Number 5. Ice Grand Shrine, Japan. This is one of the most expensive shrines in Japan and is forbidden to visitors. Only the members of the imperial family or Japan's royal family are granted access to this shrine. It is reconstructed every 20 years to maintain the Shinto tradition of death and rebirth. Number 4. Poveglia, Italy. Poveglia is a small island that is situated in Venice. For a very long time, this island has been off limits for tourists. In the 17th century, when one of the deadliest diseases plagued Italy with the Black Death, the bubonic plague patients were quarantined on this island. Those sent there were later burned on giant pyres. Thousands of patients were crammed onto this island. And the dark history has also resulted in the island being termed as one of the most haunted places on Earth. In the 19th century, the mentally ill patients were sent to an asylum in Poveglia, and there have been terrifying legends about this place ever since. Though the government took up the work of reconstructing the buildings in Poveglia long after this, The construction was abruptly stopped without a viable explanation. This led to further conjectures about the island being haunted. Today, the island stands abandoned and off limits. Number 3. North Sentinel Island, India. This island is part of the Andaman and Nicobar archipelago and has been prohibited for travelers under the Andaman and Nicobar Island Protection of Aboriginal Tribes Act in India. The Indian Navy patrols this area, and the island is only occupied by the original inhabitants. The reason for this is that the Sentinelese tribes get violent to preserve their island when tourists enter. They have existed on this island for more than 50,000 years, and the Indian government wants to protect them from any diseases that might be brought in by travelers that the community might not be immune to. Number 2. Snake Island, Brazil. Snake Island is inhabited by thousands of poisonous snakes, so it's no wonder why this place is forbidden. Even if it wasn't, it's highly unlikely that anyone would dare to visit this place. The island is deadly, and the government has banned it for visitors due to potential dangers. There are approximately 2,000 to 4,000 snakes roaming on this island that include some of the most poisonous ones that exist on Earth. And finally, number 1, Pluto's Gate, Turkey. The Plutonian at Hierapolis was discovered in 1965 by Italian archaeologists. In ancient times, it was believed to be a portal to the underworld. This gate was built on a cave that emitted poisonous fumes and carbon dioxide. As a result, any person that visited this area couldn't survive here over a few seconds due to the lethal amounts of gas. This probably was the reason behind the myth, due to which people stayed away from Pluto's Gate, as they believed that the portal would take them to the underworld. Which forbidden place do you find to be the most mystifying? Do mention it in the comment section below.